All this week on Dateline Schools, we've been pausing to recognize the leadership of education here in St. Clair County. That's our school board members, as this is National School Board Recognition Month. And to provide some insight, my special guest all this week is the president of the St. Clair County Board of Education, Mike McCartan. And Mike, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing our local school boards here and as we go into the new year 2020?
I think unquestionably declining enrollment and what that means for a district and how they're going to manage that. And it requires for board members, you can't just be thinking about today. You've got to be looking 5 years down the road, because we're like a big freighter going down the river. That if we decide that we have to change direction, it takes a while. And you have to, sort of slow down, and even the changing of direction takes a while. And so, we've had the benefit, I think, over the last 20 plus years of having projections that have turned out to be pretty accurate. And so every district needs to understand what those projections mean and be in a position where without a gun to their head, they can adjust and have the least disruptive process possible moving forward. Because we're not going to increase enrollment as much as we might want to. And there's a lot of now competition between districts on schools of choice and things like that. But by and large, the critical mass has declined, and the number of kids who are being born has declined, all of those things. And so enrollment equals funding, funding equals resources available, including, the ability to recruit and retain really good staff. And it means making very difficult decisions that probably are going to be unpopular with a segment of the people who elected you.
As we wrap up our week talking about the boards of education here in our county, is there anything you wish the local community knew about the Board of Education and how you operate and what you do?
Well, to me, I think it comes down to being as supportive as you can be, but being a listener. There has to be a relationship between the board and the community, and there has to be trust there. And so communication is really basic to trust. And so, stay informed, come to meetings if you have a concern, talk to people, don't make up your mind in a vacuum, and understand that none of us get paid. And it's a purely volunteer opportunity, and it's very rewarding at many levels, and it's very challenging at others.
For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington. Dateline Schools is a production of St. Clair County RESA.